marginalized communities. The GLDC, Illinois Springfield, and Lewis universities will stand together as one to promote racial and social justice. As such, we invite you to please rise to join our continual efforts to listen, learn, lead, and love.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the
And
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Neil Carey Arena for tonight's matchup. The Lewis University Flyers take on the Prairie Stars of the University of Illinois Springfield. I'm Patrick Hennessy alongside Tony Denardis. We will be with you all afternoon, first for this women's NCAA matchup, and then after this, the men will take on the Prairie Stars as well. So both teams come into this GLVC matchup, and the Flyers come in at 13-8 overall. The Prairie Stars 2-19 overall as we get ready for the tip, which will be won by the Flyers. And Tony, what do you think the Flyers are going to do today in order to try to come out with the victory?
Well, something that's been a problem for the Flyers throughout this season has been staying disciplined the whole game. And we see a lot of close games down the stretch, especially in the fourth quarter, where the Flyers tend to become undisciplined in a lot of close games that they end up losing. So that's definitely something they have to be in control of today, and it's always great to start early.
Yeah, staying disciplined down the stretch, definitely an area the Flyers could improve on. No foul call there as Galuza drives off the glass, no good. But Hart with an offensive rebound. Stephanie Hart, fifth-year senior out of Geneva, Illinois. She always plays really tough, Tony. She actually fouled out in that previous game against Quincy, in which the Flyers came out with the victory. Nice spin move from Brianna Zajac there. No good, however. Flyers now push in transition.
Yeah, a couple good looks there by both teams. Both of them, though, unsuccessful getting it in.
Yeah, so fast-paced game to start off. The Flyers are coached by Keisha Newell, who is in her first season. And, Tony, what can you tell me about Coach Newell here in her first season with the Flyers?
I mean, she's done a great job getting this team together. I mean, they're 9-4 in the conference. They're third in the standings. And I know Illinois Springfield struggled throughout the year, but you can't take them lightly because you're still trying to climb those conference standings with only a few games remaining. And she's done a great job, having them disciplined as a three-point shot goes in there.
Bank is open this afternoon.
Yes, but she's done a great job with this team, and it's never easy as a first-year coach either, just trying to learn, get the chemistry of the team where you want it to be.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the Prairie Stars are coached by Summer Quesenberry, who is in her first season as well. They are assisted by Michaela Givens as that pass sails out of bounds. And right there, Tony, just a miscommunication pass that went right over her head. So
you just can't have the turnovers early.
Flyers now going to look to press the Prairie Stars, who, by the way, traveled to this game with only 9 players. So a number of players had to stay back, could not travel due to injury, as the Flyers now get the ball right back. And it looks like they're going to stop play, maybe something on the court.
Yeah, the ref was pointing, but I don't know. I don't think it was a foul or anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were looking at there, but Flyers are now going to take it in at half court as Hilbert gets it into Badali. Badali, a redshirt sophomore out of Oak Lawn, Illinois. Last year did not play much due to a foot injury, but this year has really came back strong. She was the GLVC Freshman of the Year a couple years back, so a player that has done really well with the Flyers so far, and we see the Flyers now get on the board. Galuza picks up 2.
It'd be nice to see Jenna Badali drive, too, because she has the best free throw percentage on the team, so if she can get to the line, that's a great way to generate some points. Yeah,
you're exactly right, Tony, as she's going to look to drive right here. That is out to Galuza. Now Catherine Schmidt, she's a stretch 5, so Schmidt can really shoot from downtown, but as we see now, she's looking to post up, and she gets it. She is double-teamed. Oh, nice cut by Hart and a nice finish.
Pass. Yeah, Catherine Schmidt, she's just one of our best overall all-around players here, and you just saw on that pass right there, and she can score, too. We'll definitely see that on display today.
Oh, yeah, she can score. She actually just passed the 1,000-point mark in their game against Quincy, and she's just a junior, so hitting the 1,000-point benchmark as a junior, really impressive. So you're exactly right. She can't score, and another
look at that pass.
Open look for the Flyers. That's Galuza again. So the past 2 times the Flyers drove right down the middle and then had wide open looks at the rim.
Some of the best basketball is unselfish basketball, and they're passing the ball in the great lanes early.
Prairie Stars have it on offense. They trail 6-2 early on in quarter number 1. This is Zajac Out to Bardick for three. No good. Offensive rebound there. Pulled down by number 21.
See, this is what the Flyers can't do. You cannot give them second chance opportunities because a team that's struggling needs second chance opportunities to get them going, and you don't want to do anything that gives them any momentum.
Out to Badali. She tees up a three. That one's no good. You mentioned Badali, a great free throw shooter, but she also has a pretty solid three-point percentage as well on the season as she shoots at over 40%, or excuse me, 31% from three-point land. And they're going to...
It's on Grace Hilber, first foul of the game.
So Courier will now come in to replace Hilber early. Hilber, Flyers' second leader in scoring. She's a three. She's what you would call, Tony, a three-level scorer. She can.
Yep.
She really likes that 15-foot shot, but if she needs to, she can stretch it outside, and then also really good at getting to the basket.
And you want her on the court, but that's probably a smart move by Keisha Newell, taking her out early. You don't want her to pick up a second foul, because then if she does, then you really have to limit her minutes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the Flyers have a pretty deep rotation, so a lot of players can come off the bench as Courier now gets it to Schmidt from about 5 feet out, scores again. So Flyers are really feasting in the lane early on.
And they're known for they're a big three-point shooting team, and if they can get them in the point, you know they're going to get them from outside. I mean, this could be a good game for them if they keep it going.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Tony. Nice look down low from Araya Douglas, but no good.
Yeah, Araya Douglas is someone you do not want to get deep in the lane because she will make most of those shots.
Nice rebound, offensive rebound from Hart. Schmidt's going to try again, and that time she converts. So Catherine Schmidt displaying a bit of that shooting touch that we were talking about earlier. Flyers now 10-2 lead, and the last time the Flyers and the Prairie Stars matched up, the Flyers were able to come away with a very decisive victory.
Yeah, they won by 35 points in their last victory, and they're off to a very good start here, already up 8, just about 6 minutes in.
Douglas tees up a three. That one's off the back of the rim, but an offensive rebound pulled down by the Prairie Stars. And that is number 15, Ava Bardick, who tees up a 15-footer. It's good. And you got to think the Prairie Stars needed that one, Tony. They needed to take the lid off the basket here, and that's a steal.
Yeah, too, and that turnover is going to help them, too.
Now as Ashley watched her. Down low, that was Zajac. I think she wanted the foul, no call, and Badali's nice dish down low to Galuza with the left hand, and one.
It's nice, and on the other end, too, they had Kat Schmidt, who's the tallest on the team, way out past the free throw line. So if they can get her out, they might get some chances down low.
And we see both teams now will make a couple of substitutions, as now with 3:44, both teams will take their first media timeout. But obviously right now the Flyers offense firing on all cylinders. Taylor Galuza already with 16 points, and the Flyers also shooting really well so far. They're 6 of 10 from the field.
Yeah, they are. And Taylor Galuza, she is 3 of 4 from the field.
Yeah, and most of those, coming from right under the basket. So the Flyers just getting those high percentage looks, and it's just hard to stop the Flyers if they're going to get to the rim. They have a size advantage down low as well.
They do, and all this is without Grace Hilber even putting up a shot yet.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's third in scoring, I believe, on this team, and she hasn't really even been on the floor. We'll see if she comes back after this media timeout.
Yeah, Hilber actually second in average points for the Flyers this year. She's averaging
you almost wonder,
just about 15 points.
Yeah, you almost wonder, too, with Illinois Springfield, to limit some of those three-point shots or even stuff in the paint. You ever think of maybe going to a zone defense, especially when you're struggling as a team? That way, I don't know, you just don't get tired in the game.
Yeah, with the shorter rotation, zone defense isn't a bad idea, but you got to worry about the Flyers' three-point shooting with that as well.
Yeah, they haven't knocked down any threes yet, but you don't really want to get them started either if you're Illinois Springfield.
We see number 23, Shanton Brown, checking for the Flyers. Brown, a really good defender. She draws a lot of charges, comes up with a lot of steals as well. That's a nice look there from number 15, Ava Bardick. Now it's Brown on the wing, down low to Courier, spins left, up, no good. Brianna Zajac pulls down the rebound. This is in the corner. Bardick again. Prairie Stars with 5 outside. This is a three-pointer, no good off the front of the rim. However, offensive rebound.
Yeah, the Flyers are having a hard time getting those boards on defense. You just can't give Illinois Springfield second chances, and the ball's going to stay on this end.
That was a nice job by Shanton Brown to direct that one out of bounds, as now Hilbert will replace Badali.
Yeah, and you see Uriah Douglas come back into the game, too. Very short rest for her as well, as she's their leading scorer, so they're definitely going to need as many minutes out of her today as they can get.
Yeah, averaging nearly 17 points a game. In the corner, that's a three-pointer from Ewell, no good. Nice job by Schmidt to track down the rebound. Up to Brown. Flyers really pressing in transition. Now Schmidt has it on the outside. Down low to Courier. She's immediately doubled. Tried to get it to Hart in the corner, but that one's picked off by Bardick. All right, yeah, let's see if the Prairie Stars can get their offense going here. They've done pretty well on defense since the timeout.
Almost a turnover right there.
Yeah, nice job by Brown interrupting the passing lane there. This is Liz Ewell, defended by Brown. Now it's Bardick on the wing. She drives right up, blocked by Schmidt. Foul call. Must have got her on the body, but I don't know, Tony. That looked clean to me.
It did look clean, and you could see just by Kat Schmidt's reaction, she was very surprised that the whistle blew, but
yeah, again, that block was all ball, so they must have called her with the blocking foul there, and Bardick converts on free throw number 1, so the Flyers were really dominating to start this game, but since the timeout, the Prairie Stars have really got their offense going, and it's now just a 4-point game. It's 13-9.
Yeah, probably smart bringing Taylor Galuza back in. She already has 3 buckets for the Flyers.
Yeah, she's done a really nice job moving off the ball, cutting and getting to the rim. Ooh, a little miscommunication as Brown runs into Hilbert, but she's going to look to push now, driving up. No good, but she was able to draw the foul.
See, that's where you need to get somebody in the lane because the whole paint was wide open. If you could get someone maybe cut in and set up a nice pass for a layup, but that's just something we're going to have to keep an eye on, too.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
A lot of room down there.
They are going to get Sahara Murphy there as she picks up her first foul of the game. Brown now at the free throw line, up, and it's good. Brown has struggled from the stripe this season, shooting 53%, as we see she goes 1 for 2 there. And I'm sure that's a area of her game she really is going to look to improve because she's a really aggressive offensive player. She loves getting to the rim, so she draws a lot of fouls, but unfortunately she's missing out on some opportunities at the stripe.
Yes, she is, and part of that could be too she's only playing 11 minutes a game. She's seen a little, I mean, she played more minutes last year. She had a lot more chances, but I mean, it'll come if the team gets going, but Grace Hilbert there is a little slow to get up.
Yeah, but she's hustling back now as Brown has it on the wing. Nice look down low to Hart. Up with it strong, and another foul. And if you're the Prairie Stars today, getting in foul trouble is not something you can afford to do.
No, and especially with Uriah Douglas as well. And they're going to take her back out again.
Hart tees up the first free throw, no good.
You just can't afford Uriah Douglas sitting on the bench. I mean, especially when you're short-handed, too.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And Ella Mann has checked in to replace her for the Prairie Stars.
And I think it's smart, too, by the Flyers, giving a little press here, kind of get the Prairie Stars uncomfortable, especially early, too. You don't want them to set in.
15-11, so the Prairie Stars are definitely very much in this. The score here cuts it to just a one-possession game. So ever since that media timeout that we took, the Prairie Stars have really been firing on all cylinders. As that three is up and no good. That was number 20, Ivy Schmidt. And now Bardick's going to get another chance at the stripe.
See, we've already mentioned the rebounding a few times in this game. But, I mean, this could be a real problem for the Flyers as we see Grace Hilbert checking out again. But, I mean, you just cannot give them second chance opportunities because a lot of times those second chance opportunities can lead to fouls.
Yeah, and those are also the easiest times to score because the defense is often out of its rotation, kind of scrambling a little bit.
Exactly.
That's when you can find an open look. And Bardick, who's an 80% free throw shooter, connects on both. She's 4 for 4 from the stripe tonight. And now it's Badali. She's pressed by Bardick from full court. Badali able to get around. Down low, Schmidt up and good.
That's what you got to do, drive down the lane. I mentioned it before, the lane being open, and she slipped past her defender, and that's the risk you take as a defender trying to guard the point guard at half court. Instead of staying back, you have a chance at them getting past, and that's what Badali did.
Yeah, she's really good at driving, getting to the rim, and she's such a great passer as well, usually able to find the open player. They're going to get Brown there with the block. I think that's the correct call. She seemed to be moving her feet a bit, but she is very inept at drawing charges, so something to look for from Brown is now Ashley Watchter will return for the Prairie Stars. This is Zajac. That three is up and no good. Prairie Stars, though, once again, another second chance opportunity, Tony. And now they're going to send Sahara Murphy into the game as well.
And Araya Douglas is back, too, inbounding the ball.
I would look at Douglas. She might come in off of this inbounds and get a look in the corner. Yep, right there.
Yep. You guessed that one right. That's immediately how they drew that up.
Here's Zajac, drives, dribbled it off her foot. Nice job by Schmidt to stay in front on defense as well. Flyers in their red uniforms with black lettering. The Prairie Stars donning navy uniforms with gold lettering.
Yeah, it's nice seeing the Flyers in their red uniforms. You know, Lewis in cursive writing. Looks really nice.
Here's Badali. 3 on the game clock. Badali's going to look to create from 15 up. No good. Off the front of the rim. So after quarter number 1, the Flyers lead 17-13 here at Neil Carey Arena. I'm Patrick Hennessy alongside Tony DeNardis. We're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back for some more women's basketball action. And we are back here from Neil Carey Arena as the Flyers lead 17-13 against the Prairie Stars as Brown immediately nearly coming up with the steal, diving on the floor, both players.
Yeah, it's Ava Bardick down on the floor as well, but both of them get up really fast.
Yeah, luckily neither player harmed there, but
that was a quick start to the quarter.
Yeah. Like I said, Shantan Brown always so aggressive on defense.
Man.
Coming up with a number of steals. And
if she plays like that, we might see an increase in minutes from her today.
Yeah, she plays a nice role off the bench, always coming in with a lot of energy. As now the Flyers again in that full court press, and they force a turnover.
See, that's where the press can help you. You may think you have somebody open down low, but then you try to rush things because you think you have something, then you make an errant pass.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So now Badali brings it up for the Flyers, as it's still just a 4-point game. Badali in the corner, up top to Schmidt. Galuza on the wing, drives right, up, and good.
Nice.
So another basket for Taylor Galuza. She is the Flyers' leading scorer. She has 9 points.
Yeah, Taylor Galuza doing a nice job just getting the rim with ease, it seems like.
Yeah, and she put some English on that layup as well.
She did.
Cross-court pass, that's Douglas. Prairie Stars leading scorer. That's number 32. Tees up a 3 and good. That's Liz Ewell.
Just like that, it's a 3-point game.
Oh, nice strong rebound there from Ewell. She pushed 3-on-2 for the Prairie Stars. Douglas,
wow.
Nice display of passing, but Stephanie Hart got a hand on it.
That was nice, and now
Flyers nearly
nice
turn it over.
And
As Badali's going to look to reset here on offense.
That was some beautiful passing. That's about as good as it gets.
And that is another foul. Is that Douglas again? Yes, it
is.
was. That might be.
Wow.
That's her 3rd foul. Oh, excuse me. That's just her 2nd foul.
I was going to say, if that was her 3rd, they might have to sit her the rest of the half.
Tara Galuza and Lily Curry are checking. So both Galuza sisters now on the court for the Flyers. As Hart, no good from the stripe. The Flyers struggling from the free throw line in this one. They're just 3 of 6 now.
And that's like I said before. They need to, if anyone's going to be shooting free throws, they got to somehow try to get Jenna Badali to the line because she is almost automatic. She's only missed 7 free throws on the year.
Yeah, that is crazy. So she's got to look to get to the stripe. Flyers now 3 of 7 from the stripe. This is Sahara Murphy directing traffic on offense. Zajaczek's going to tee up a 3. That one's good. It's a tie game, Tony, 19-19.
It looked like the Flyers got a little tied up with each other down low in the paint, and that left Brianna Zajaczek wide open.
So the Prairie Stars now really aggressive on defense. On the wing, it's Badali. She's got an open lane. I think she could have driven that. She was on the weak side. There was no help there from Springfield. Now she's going to drive. Fade away off the, I was about to say off the glass, but fell a little short.
Jammed in between the rim and the backboard.
As we see Grace Hilbert, number 32, now checking in for the Flyers. Let's see if she can get it going on offense, Tony. She's yet to score, but.
Yeah, she has 2 personal fouls. I was wondering when Keisha Newell was going to bring her back in because she hasn't even put up a shot yet.
No, she hasn't. And with the Flyers now a bit stagnant on offense, they've got to look to start creating some shots. Tara Galuza now outside to Hilbert. Thought about the 3. She's going to take the 15-footer instead, but that one's no good. Chance for the Prairie Stars to take the lead in this one. Zajaczek, aggressive, splits the defense. Drives. Tony, that's just too easy. You got to stop the ball in transition.
It is too easy, and they've been in transition offense quite a bit here early. I mean, they've had some turnovers, but especially there, I mean, I don't know, turnover offense, it's going to put you down, and the Lewis Flyers are down 2 right now.
And Zajaczek there just a bit too aggressive on defense. And Coach Summer Quesenberry's got to be happy with her team so far, playing really, really hard here in quarter number 2. They've taken the lead. It's 21-19.
And this is a team that's 2-7 on the road, so they've had their fair share of difficulties, but it's really not showing here today.
Yeah, and after this game, they still have a fairly tough stretch. They'll go on to take on Truman State, and they're second in the GLVC standings right now at 11-3. The Flyers third at 9-4. Drury, of course, atop the conference standings. They're 14-0 in the conference, 21-1 overall. I'm not sure if any team's going to catch them.
I mean, they are just tough. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Outside, this is Ivy Schmidt. Across Zajac, defended by Hart. And that's going to be a 3 from 32 Liz Ewell. No good. That's a jump ball.
They're just getting too many good looks on the offensive side of the floor. And we keep saying this because, you know, the Flyers haven't been able to figure out a way to get those defensive rebounds.
Yeah, that is 8 offensive rebounds for Springfield now.
It's unbelievable.
It's too easy.
And we're not even midway through the second quarter yet.
This is Ivy Schmidt now, defended by Lindsay Harrison, who has checked in for the Flyers. Harrison maybe in there to try to grab some rebounds.
You just wonder how long they can go without Kat Schmidt in there. Because, I mean, the ball was knocked away right under the basket, but, I mean, she got down the lane pretty easily there.
Yeah,
and they maintained possession, too.
Lindsay Harrison, a 6-foot fifth year out of Yorkville, Illinois, so perhaps Coach Newell trying to get some more size on the floor, try to contain the Prairie Stars. Rebounding is right there.
There you go.
After it's bounced around, she comes up with it, but that pass is picked off by Zajac.
A second sooner, and she had Tara Galuza possibly for a wide open layup, but she hesitated, and basketball's a game you really can't hesitate.
No, you cannot. And now Hilber is going to pick up her third foul, so foul trouble as well as rebounding really hurting the Flyers right now. They find themselves down 2. Tony, it's 19-21.
I mean, you probably have to sit Hilber the rest of the half, wouldn't you think? I mean,
yeah, with 3 fouls.
I mean, you just can't chance it. And I know you're down 2 points, but if she picks up her 4th, then you're really in a world of trouble.
Yeah, and Susu Badali is going to check in to replace her, and the Flyers are shooting well. Offense has not really been their issue. They're shooting 44%. They've only attempted 2 threes, which is unlike this Flyers team, but they're getting good looks at the rim.
Exactly.
And on defense, they're holding the Prairie Stars to 29% from the field, but they've allowed 10 offensive rebounds. And you just can't win that way, Tony. When you get stops, you got to get the ball.
Yeah, not getting offensive rebounds is one of the things that kills you the most in the game of basketball. And I wonder if Kat Schmidt's going to come back in here. It doesn't look like it, but she's great at rebounding. I don't know.
Yeah, she is the Flyers' leading rebounder, averaging about 8.5 a game. So both teams are going to take the court. 21-19, more of a low-scoring affair than the last time the Flyers played the Prairie Stars. Flyers put up 88 points in their last matchup, so obviously Prairie Stars' defense has really stepped it up in this one.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get to 88 points today. We're going to have to start doing a lot of scoring.
Prairie Stars have it. Outside. On the wing, now in the corner is Zajac. Oh, that's a deep 3 from Zajac.
Wow.
That one.
I was going to say, they did really well on defense there. Nobody really had any space to get a shot off, that's kind of one of the first times we've seen that today. They've had some good looks, but nothing there. And that's what you want them to do. They were well beyond the men's three-point line there.
Yeah, very, very good defensive stand from the Flyers. As we see, Kat has now checked in for the Flyers. So Lindsay Harrison and Kat Schmidt, the Flyers' 2 tallest players, both on the court now. So Coach Newell clearly trying to go with some size here. Down low to Harrison, and that's there nice. Is why.
Yep.
Nice look there from Kat as well to get it down low. That entry pass from the top of the key, she made it look easy, but that is not an easy look.
That's not easy. And Lindsey Harrison, she can go up there and get it. I mean, she's 6 foot as well as Kat Schmidt, so they got the 2 tallest players on the court right now, which can really help on the rebounding side of things too. I mean, this is where they got to get rebounds now.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and it's tied up at 21 apiece. And she walked with it, so that's a turnover there from Liz Ewell. And Ava Bardick returning for the Prairie Stars.
As you said, too,
Bardick's their leading scorer, excuse me.
No, as you said before, too, they have 21 points, and this game is tied, but they're only shooting Illinois Springfield 28% from the floor, which is it's kind of crazy if you think about it.
Yeah. But luckily their defense has been good enough. They've been able to contain the Flyers to just 21 points as well. Tara Galuza drives off the glass. No good. Offensive rebound from Taylor Galuza. So collecting her sister's miss there from the rim and putting it up. Flyers now lead again, 23-15. This is Bardick. She is the Prairie Stars' leading scorer in this game. She has 8 points. Here is Zajac. Now in the corner to Stevens. Up top to Ewell. 5 on the shot clock. Ewell on the wing. It's Bardick. 3. It's good. Man, Ava Bardick, she's got a nice looking jumper there from outside.
See, that's something I don't know if I like with the Flyers defense, because they had Badali and Kat Schmidt right in the paint, and they had Illinois Springfield had 2 shooters right beyond the 3-point line, and they end up making the 3-point shot there. I mean, I don't know. I know you want to keep your centers and your forwards closer to the basket, but if you're going to do that, you have to at least have someone come out and guard
yeah,
the 3-point
so
line.
A bit of a defensive breakdown on the weak side there. And like you said, Bardick ended up with the open look there.
It's Tara Galuza. I know it was not.
Yeah, it's still Flyers ball, so they're going to get that, I believe, on Sahara Murphy.
Yeah, it was 21 of Illinois Springfield, not Lewis.
Ooh, and a nice job by Zajac fronting Lindsey Harrison, coming up with the steal.
Nope.
And she walked with it again.
No, I think she stepped out of bounds.
That was Liz Ewell, so.
I think she had her foot on the line.
And the official did not like some of the chirping there from the Flyers bench, kind of issuing a warning to Coach Newell. So that's going to be something to watch later in this game. Not sure what was said, but I did hear the official say we're not doing that. So bit of a warning there to the Flyers bench as Badali is double teamed. Nice look to Harrison. And that's, I was about to say too easy for Tara Galuza, but couldn't quite come up with it. And there was a late contest there from Olivia Stevens, so perhaps kind of Tara saw that out of her peripheral and it ended up altering her shot.
And that was something I was going to mention pregame too.
Oh, that's a foul on Badali. She was moving her feet on that one. No. Interesting. I thought they were going to call a foul on Badali. It didn't look like she was quite set, but I think they're going to say that Liz Ewell there lowered her shoulder, and that's why they're going to call an offensive foul on that one.
Yeah, now we see Illinois Springfield kind of doing what the Flyers were doing early and bringing a press on the defensive side.
Prairie Stars lead by 1 as Galuza all the way to the basket and draws the foul. So Galuza been really aggressive so far, driving to the rim in this game, and she's going to shoot a pair. I love Tara Galuza's free throw routine, Tony. We've mentioned it before, but she gets it, she puts it right up as soon as she gets it. So it's more of a lack thereof of a routine, but it works for her. She shoots pretty well from the stripe.
Yeah, most people you see take a few dribbles, kind of, soak it all in, but she just gets it and goes, and she made both of them right there.
It works. She's shooting 73%, and she picks up a pair. She's the Flyers' leading scorer. Oh, nice job from Brown and Galuza. However, Bardick open on the wing for 3. That one's no good. Strong rebound, Catherine Schmidt. She's going to be fouled. I believe they're going to get Ivy Schmidt there. Or excuse me, number 24, Olivia Stevens.
Yeah, the Flyers, they got lucky there. If you're going to apply pressure at half court, you have to make sure you have some defenders back to cover the open shooters. I mean, that could have easily been a three-point basket there for the Prairie Stars.
Yeah, you're right. But the press, you know, it has been working. The Flyers have come up with a number of steals tonight as Catherine Schmidt there connects from the stripe. She is an 83% free throw shooter. That one's good as well. So it's 27-24 with 2 minutes left until the half here from Neil Carey. Prairie Stars able to get it across. They're going to look to set up. Here's Bardick. And that one is good. It's Liz Ewell. Badali now driving for the Flyers. Gets all the way to the baseline. Now she'll look to reset up top.
Shanton Brown was wide open a couple seconds ago in that corner.
Yeah, that's a tough cross-court pass there. Catherine Schmidt just shoots it right over the defender. That was number 4, Ella Mann. And the three-pointer up, no good. That was a quick shot there from Ivy Schmidt. Brown, oh nice dish to Harrison. It looked like she was bumped, no call. Now in transition, it's Bardick. Nice job running the floor there from Ava Bardick as she picks up another 2.
Look at that. Trying to rush things a little bit here. Don't want to get sloppy before the half.
Yeah, it was a decent look and a nice job from Catherine Schmidt there running the floor. Nearly ended up with the open look, but perhaps just a little too overzealous. It's 29-28 here with 48 seconds remaining. This is Mann. Now over to Ewell. Uses the screen, tees up a 3. That one's no good. Rebound, Schmidt. About 6 seconds between the shot and game clock. Brown down low to Harrison. She was calling for it. She has the size advantage up with the left. No good. Rebound pulled down by Ewell. 18 seconds. Prairie Stars pushing. And a nice job by Brown to deflect that pass out of bounds. So Prairie Stars will most likely end up with the final shot. Stephanie Hart checking in for the Flyers, and for the Prairie Stars, it's Araya Douglas along with Brianna Zajac.
Yes, Prairie Stars are fortunate they got the ball back there, but they really didn't have to rush it, as they could have just taken the rest of the time into the half.
No, they were looking to score in transition, though. And there's 8 seconds left here. Douglas looking to create in the corner. That's Schmidt for 3. No good. Offensive rebound pulled down, or excuse me, defensive rebound pulled down by Cat. So at the end of 1, we have a ball game, Tony. It is Flyers 29, Prairie Stars 28. We should be in for a really exciting second half, but we're going to head into halftime here from Neil Carey Arena. I'm Patrick Hennessy alongside Tony Donardis, and we'll be right back for the start of half number 2.
number 24 brings it into the front court. He lets it go to the right side. He's working on 42. He gets that spot. start second through the fifth at Highland Arena on the campus of Lindenwood University in St. Charles, Missouri. A total of 14 games will be played over the 4 days of the event, with the GLDC men's and women's basketball games to be held on Sunday, March 5th. For more information about the tournament and order tickets, visit glbcsports.com/2023 and glbcsports.com/2023 WBB.
Welcome back to Neil Carey Arena on the campus of Lewis University here in Romeoville, Illinois. Patrick Hennessy here alongside Tony DeNardis on the mic for today's women's basketball action. Following this game, we will also be calling the men's basketball game here at Neil Carey Arena as well. The Flyers taking on the Prairie Stars of Illinois Springfield, as we see the Flyers in the red jerseys with the black lettering, the Prairie Stars in the navy jerseys with the gold lettering. And Tony, we've had a really exciting game up until this point, separated by just 1 point. The Flyers do lead 29-28, but what is one thing you noticed in the first half? What do you think Coach Newell was saying to her team in the locker room to try and see if they can expand on this lead?
Well, I think you have to, first off, you have to limit the second chance opportunities. I mean, we discussed during halftime, Illinois Springfield has 10 offensive rebounds to our Flyers having 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's definitely something you have to expand on or stop, as the Flyers started out with a bucket there, so that helps.
Yeah, that does help. Flyers shooting 46%, so scoring hasn't been a huge issue, but giving up second chance opportunities to Springfield has.
Yeah, and scoring hasn't been an issue, but they haven't got Jenna Badali going yet. She hasn't made a bucket. I'm sure, you know, that's possibly an emphasis too, that they'll try to get her going a little bit.
Yeah, Grace Hilber as well scoreless in today's game. Obviously not the usual. She's the Flyers' second leading scorer coming in, as the Prairie Stars' leading scorer, Araya Douglas, has checked in for them.
And we've mentioned it last half too. Grace Hilber, she has 3 personal fouls. So, I mean, she's got to be a little careful. You don't want to get too physical, but you also, you know, you want to prevent them from scoring as well.
Yeah, and we were kind of talking, but I do want to highlight that on that last possession, Catherine Schmidt had a really strong rebound,
Yep.
which is exactly what the Flyers need. We see Springfield on their end as Douglas tees up a 3. That one's no good. Another rebound pulled down by Kat.
Here's a nice
Down
pass.
low to Hart with the left hand up and good. Stephanie Hart on the board.
Yeah, see, we talk about Grace Hilber's scoring, but look at that, was a beautiful pass right to the chest of Stephanie Hart. And I noticed last possession when we were down here too, it looked like Hilber and Schmidt had a little confusion on who was guarding who. In Illinois Springfield, they didn't convert on scoring, but it's just something you want to keep an eye on.
As we see, Douglas is going to use the screen. She tees up that one. Looked like it was deflected by Hart. I believe she got a hand on it. Yeah, you're right, Tony. There's just been a few times where there's breakdown, especially on the weak side in the Flyers defense, which has allowed some open looks for Springfield. But on the offensive end, the Flyers have had a lot of success driving and getting to the basket. As right there, a nice back cut from Hilber. There we go. Now Hilber gets on the board, and that was moving off the ball as a guard is so important. It's one of those things that's not talked about too much.
Nope.
But if you're a guard and you're moving a lot off the ball, the defender eventually just gets tired of chasing you around.
Well,
And that's an offensive rebound there from Liz Ewell, and she's fouled, so the Prairie Stars head to the stripe. It's 35-28. They're going to get Galuza with the foul there. She is the Flyers' leading scorer in this game. She has 13 points. As Ewell connects on the first. Ewell goes 2 for 2 from the stripe.
Flyers off to a pretty good start here in the first half, but I like how they're kind of, at least not in this possession, but they're slowing things down on offense a little bit.
Oh, and Hilber with the 3. So all she needed was that one make earlier, and now she's immediately got 5 points. Flyers now 38-30. But you're right, Tony, right there, slow it down, cross-court pass. Good ball movement. Hilber finds herself open in the corner, and a nice look. Prairie Stars, you got to think just from a momentum point, the Prairie Stars are going to need a basket here, I think.
Yeah, they need one. And Araya Douglas with the ball. She's the one they need to score, but she walked with it.
Yeah, she kind of took a hop step and then didn't put it up. But Dolly now slowing things down once again for the Flyers. Now another nice back cut from Grace, but the pass from Galuza just a little far off. Hilber down low to Schmidt. She turns left, up, and no good.
See, that's what you want to see, though. Kat Schmidt one-on-one down there, because she'll usually convert on those.
Yeah, you're right. Schmidt did have a good look, and that one's up and good from Liz Ewell.
Liz Ewell, she has 9 points.
Badali on the wing, up to Galuza. Galuza in the corner to Hilber, finds Badali open on the wing, no good. So the last 2 possessions, the Flyers have had open looks, just unable to convert. Eventually, though, they're going to drop.
That's what you want Jenna Badali to have, that type of look, too, because as I mentioned, she hasn't made a basket yet, but it'll come, especially if you keep getting them open like that.
Yeah, she does have 3 assists, which leads the Flyers in that category, as Bardick drives in. It looks like down low, Jenna Badali and number 24, Olivia Stevens, got a little tangled up, and that's always a scary fall when you land right on your tailbone like that.
That was a hard foul, but she got up right away, though. So, and now we see Shaunton Brown coming back in. She can really make a difference on the defensive side, as we've talked about.
This is Douglas out to Bardick. Bardick's going to direct traffic. Off the screen, it's Stevens. And of course, the Flyers have a lot more size than the Prairie Stars. So the Prairie Stars on offense really running more of a 5-out offense. And then on the Flyers end, they are getting those post looks, as we talked about earlier.
That was nice by Jenna Badali taking the charge. If you're not scoring, but as long as you're making assists and taking charge, I mean, anything helps. And she stepped in and took a hard one there.
There's a foul. I believe they're going to get number 21's. Oh, that's against Ava Bardick. So at the 4:54 mark here in quarter number 1, there will be a media timeout from both teams. So right now the Flyers offensively, in that 3-pointer from Grace Hilber in the corner, that was actually the Flyers' first 3-point made in this game. They're 1 of 4. They've only attempted 4, not that many. On the other end, the Prairie Stars have attempted 19 threes, but they've only converted on 4 of them.
And it's kind of unusual from the Flyers, too, because we're used to them taking, a lot of shots from beyond the arc. But with the Prairie Stars, I mean, if you came in and telling me they were 2 and 19, I'd kind of be shocked, because they haven't looked all that bad at all. I mean, they're kind of displaying their dominance on the offensive glass.
Yeah, and on the defensive side, they're playing really hard. I mean, they are getting right up in the grill of the Flyers' offensive players, and it's obviously created a lot of chaos.
Yeah, and I like how they brought a press here early in the second half. I mean, you want to, and I know you're on the road and everything, but you got to do anything that you can to try to get your opponent uncomfortable.
Yeah, and but one thing the Flyers have done well that we haven't mentioned, points off turnovers. The Flyers have 15 points off of turnovers. Yep. The Prairie Stars with 5. And of course, the Prairie Stars with 13 personal fouls to the Flyers 7. So again, the Prairie Stars really aggressive on defense. However, that does lead to an uptick in fouling. As Schmidt, they're going to call her for an offensive foul. I don't know about that one.
Not an illegal screen, or what they say? They're in charge.
They're going to call that on Schmidt. It didn't look like there was a whole lot of contact there. Maybe she was pushing off with her arm.
Maybe, yeah. No, and something else we haven't really mentioned either is points in the paint. 26 for the Flyers and only 6 for Springfield.
Yeah, and again, I think that really comes down just the Flyers' height advantage. They've had a lot more looks in the post, and then they've done a really good job of driving to the basket as well. This is Douglas. Nice look to Liz Ewell, who tees up the three, no good. That's a shot clock violation as the ball did not hit.
And we mentioned too that the Flyers are the taller team. They're keeping the Prairie Stars out of the paint, but they're also hitting a lot of their perimeter shots because they're only getting 6 from the paint. Everything else has been from the outside. So.
Yeah, not necessarily from the perimeter, but definitely from mid-range.
Exactly.
Oh, nice cut from Badali, and a dish down low to Hart. She scores. Again, the Flyers are feasting off of those back cuts on offense. It's 40-32 now, Flyers lead. Bardick, Brown with a nice steal. She was nearly ahead of the pack. No foul called there, but nonetheless, a nice job by the Prairie Stars to stop. And Grace Hilbert's going to connect on the 15-footer. I think she also thought she got hit on the arm as well.
Yeah, it's good to finally get Grace Hilbert going. It can lead to a lot of success. They've now stretched it to a 10-point game.
Yeah, a 10-point game, and Hilbert now has 7 second-half points. This is Douglas. She only has 3 points. She comes in averaging nearly 17. Bardick's going to step back for 3. No good. Rebound Badali. So the Flyers are really making the Prairie Stars work deep into the shot clock.
That was a pretty nice pass, too. We've kind of had a little bit of a passing clinic going on here today.
Yeah, passing clinic, Tony, and that shows the Flyers with 13 assists as a team. Prairie Stars with 6, so right there has been a key difference in this game. But again, I've been really impressed with the energy that the Prairie Stars have been able to play despite just coming in with 9 women coming into this game. So really nice stamina displayed and just overall grit from the Prairie Stars for sure.
And a lot of this is without their leading scorer, Araya Douglas, too, because she's been on the bench quite a bit today, and she only has 3 of their 32 points.
Yeah, she got herself into some foul trouble early. Now obviously playing more here in half number 2. And it looks like possibly an offensive foul. No, they're going to get Galuza. That's an unfortunate foul because the Flyers had worked the Prairie Stars all the way to the end of the shot clock and then kind of bailed them out with the foul there. So it's Olivia Stevens. She connects. Prairie Stars shooting pretty well from the stripe as they're now 7 of 9.
And that was Olivia Stevens' first free throw attempt of the season.
Really?
Too, yeah.
Well, she made the most of it. Hilber from 15 off the front of the rim, no good. Strong rebound pulled down there from Liz Ewell. She has it on the wing, defended by Galuza. Over to Sahara Murphy. Back in the wing, that's Bardick. Up to Murphy again, defended by Shanton Brown. It's Olivia Stevens back to Ewell. Again, Prairie Stars working until the end of the shot clock, but they do get a pretty solid look. No good, however. That was Ivy Schmidt.
And the Flyers doing a great job keeping them out of the paint. I mean, they're keeping them to the outside.
Ooh, Hilbert's going to get an open 3. No good. However, offensive rebound from Hart. Hilbert now from 15. That one's no good. Rebound pulled down by Bardick. Flyers rebounding much, much better here in the second half. Ooh, nice look to Murphy, and she tries to dish it back out to Liz Yule as she kind of received that pass just a little too close to the baseline. Jenna Bodali and Lily Courier back in for the Flyers, and Ella Mann will check in for the Prairie Stars, replacing Sahara Murphy. Prairie Stars in a press now as Badali calls off the help. She's going to bring it up herself. Drives left into the lane, around the baseline, nearly steps out of bounds, and that one is stolen from Olivia Stevens. Prairie Stars get a stop. It's only a 7-point game. If the Prairie Stars score here, that's going to be huge for them. Stops and scores. It sounds simple, Tony, but that's exactly how the Prairie Stars are going to climb back into this game. Nice look, decent look there from Bardick, no good with the left. She's coming up on Schmidt and nearly comes up with a steal, but they're going to call a foul there.
The pace of this game has really increased these last few possessions. Prairie Stars, they're down 7 points with 30 seconds left, but they're still within distance. And especially with a team that struggled on the year, you don't want to fall too far behind.
No, they're staying right in it, 42-35. And because the Flyers are in the bonus, Kat's going to shoot a pair here. Like I mentioned, very good free throw shooter. Connects on the first. She's not someone you want to foul.
Yeah, she makes about 83% of her free throws. I mean, the Flyers have a lot of good free throw shooters on this team.
And the shot clock and game clock are pretty much in unison here, so the Prairie Stars can hold for the last shot if they want it. This is Murphy. In the corner, that's Schmidt for three, no good. Rebound Madali, 3 on the clock. Schmidt's gonna have to tee up from way far back, and that's gonna do it at the end of the half, so Flyers lead by 9. It's 44-35. Prairie Stars still hanging in it, however, here from Neil Carey Arena. I'm Patrick Hennessy alongside Tony DeNardis. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with you to start the fourth quarter. And both teams retake the court here in the ever-important fourth quarter here from Neil Carey Arena. The Flyers looking to improve to 10-4 in the conference if they could come out with the win. However, the Prairie Stars hanging tough. They're looking for their 3rd win on the season.
And these are, we discussed this pregame, these are the times where the Flyers tend to get a little undisciplined in the game, so it's important to keep an eye on that. You want to, it's definitely important to get a stop on the first possession here too.
Yeah, nice hands there from Shanton Brown. However, that one's going to be out, so it is Prairie Stars ball out of bounds. And this is a very important possession for the Prairie Stars, Tony. They want to set the tone early. It's a 9-point game. Oh, nice hands there from Galuza. no numbers, but Galuza's going to take it herself, and no foul call. It must have been all ball there from Liz Ewell.
Yeah, Ewell swatted that thing pretty hard, too.
But you got to love the aggressiveness from the Flyers here early.
Definitely do. And
ooh, Euro step there from Galuza, but again, blocked. You know, Taylor Galuza, I was going to mention this. In the fourth quarter this year, she's actually been really good. She's been one of the Flyers' go-to players down the stretch. Last year, even into this year, she's hit a number of clutch shot, game-tying, game-winning shots. So if this becomes close down the stretch, you might see the Flyers actually go to Taylor Galuza. She's been clutch for them so far in her career as a Flyer.
She has been, and she leads the team in points today.
Yeah, she's playing pretty well, and
played very well.
pretty much all those points coming from the stripe and at the rim, so good looks as well, high quality.
You know, starting to bring out the tricks too, trying to Euro step under the basket.
And this is Brianna Zajac up top to Liz Ewell. In the corner, that's Olivia Stevens. Ewell has it, she's defended by Galuza. Murphy thought about the 20-footer, decided against it. She's gonna drive in the corner. Three is up, and off the back of the rim, no good. There from Olivia Stevens. Here's Brown out to Badali. Badali still yet to get on the board. Nice look down low to Courier, and that one's blocked from behind, but they're gonna get a foul here against the Prairie Stars. That's on 24, Olivia Stevens. That's her third foul. The Flyers now can make it a double-digit game, Tony.
Yeah, they can, and we see as Kat Schmidt and Araya Douglas both getting ready to check in, the two leading scorers for both teams.
Yep, Kat Schmidt coming back in as well. And then Ava Bartik now heads to the scorers table. That one's no good from Courier.
And they really need to get Araya Douglas going. I mean, it's to the point of the game where fouls almost don't matter. You just have to put out your best players and just hope they don't foul out.
Yeah, put your best five on the court for sure here in the fourth. As Brown has it now on the wing up to Badali. Badali sees an open lane. She's going to drive cross court to Hart. She tees up a three. No good. Bounced around a couple times. Unfortunately, it doesn't get the friendly bounce. That's going to be a three from Ewell. Up to Hart. Now Galuza. Back to Hart. Nice passing there from the Flyers. Ultimately, they're going to slow things down here. All the way to the basket. She's fouled. Jenna Badali now looking to pick up her first points on the game.
They finally got her to the free throw line. That was something else we talked about right before the game started. Get her to the line because she will make you baskets.
And Ryan Douglas returned for the Prairie Stars. Grace Hilbert and Catherine Schmidt are back. For
yeah, Badali nearly automatic from the line, shooting 88% on the year. That one's up and good.
Yep.
And, you know, shooting free throws in the fourth quarter after you haven't taken an attempt all night, that's tough because, you know, you're on tired legs. You usually got to put more effort into your lower body to kind of get it up because they're usually more tired than you think, and sometimes that can lead to players short-arming it from the free throw line, you know, maybe off the front of the rim. But Badali.
And a lot of people think it's easy to shoot those free throws, but it's not
not.
because you're all tuckered out. I mean, especially when you're into the fourth quarter of a pretty close game. It's not an easy task.
Yeah, but Badali made it look easy there. She picked up both. 9-point game, 46-37, so much, much closer than the last time these teams faced off.
I wonder if the Prairie Stars have kind of shocked the Flyers a little bit. Because I know they beat them, and I know you can't just expect to win any game. I mean, they beat them by 35 points in the last matchup, and now you come in to an 8-point game with possibly 7 if this free throw goes down.
Yeah, and adding on top of that, just the fact that the Prairie Stars are short-handed, only traveling with 9 players, and they've really kept up the energy tonight. It's really impressive. Oh, wide open. Grace Hilber under the basket. So Flyers in transition, taking advantage of the breakdown from the Prairie Stars transition defense.
Yeah, they've had a lot of transition offense already this quarter, and that's something usually as a defense, it's not usually going to go in your favor.
Cross court nearly picked off by Galuza. Liz Yule now has it at the top. Yule thought about a three. She's going to drive instead. Puts it up. Fouled. They're going to get Galuza there.
This is something you also don't want to start doing, is putting them at the free throw line and giving them easy points.
Yeah, and they've been converting from the free throw line as well, shooting pretty well from the stripe, 72%, 8 of 11. They'll have it out of bounds here on the baseline. Up to Zajac. Now this is Douglas.
Let's see if she can get going.
She's well defended by Hart. Hart's a very good defender. Like I mentioned, fifth-year player, a lot of experience. That was a nice Euro step from Douglas, but just missed. So, again, the shot's just not falling for Douglas here. And she's only a sophomore. She's out of Marion, Ohio.
And the Flyers, they're making the Prairie Stars play their game right now. There was a, oh man.
Ooh, nice pass. Now the Flyers have it on their ends. That was a nice outlet pass.
Yeah.
Nearly full court. This is Kat Schmidt. She's looking to find anyone. A little bit of trouble there. Badali now drives, spins, up, and good. Jenna Badali, aggressive to the rim and scores.
It's her first official bucket of the game.
Yeah, she picked up a pair of free throws, but that's her first field goal.
Puts up the field goal and then just draws the charge on the other end.
Flyers now lead by 12.
Flyers basketball.
Here's Hilber. She's doubled. Cross court to Galuza. Driving right past Douglas. However, she nearly picked it away, and Hilber's going to tee up a three. No good. So the Flyers had a good look, just couldn't quite convert. Douglas is fouled.
If you're Illinois Springfield, I don't know. I don't know what you think, Patrick, but I don't know if you should be pressing and maybe just try to get back and get something set up instead of, you know, having an outlet pass and then you have maybe a 2-on-1 for the Flyers on their offensive side. I just think as for Illinois Springfield in their defense, I just think they need to get back and set up because you still have 5.5 left in the game. I don't really know if pressing's worth it at this point in time.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time, only a 12-point game. And defensively, the Prairie Stars have done pretty well.
You just don't want to give up free buckets.
Yeah. But, you know, it's something right here because we see kind of a breakdown, and now Badali's nearly had an open three.
Yeah, I think Hilber could have possibly went up with that one under the rim, but she drove it out.
And we see Kat Schmidt. That's just too easy.
It all worked out in the end, so.
Down low, foul. Badali Ewell is going to shoot a pair of this. So the Prairie Stars have had a number of free throws attempts here in the fourth quarter. This is already going to be their 5th and 6th attempt from the stripe in the fourth quarter alone. So that one is up and good. And you were talking about it, but here in just the fourth quarter, the Flyers have 6 fast break points.
Yep.
Prairie Stars have none. So this is going to be an important possession here. 12-point game pretty much halfway through the fourth quarter. Up to Hart. Now it's Schmidt. Hilber thought about the three. She's going to decide to slow things down, and I think that's the right call. Flyers now, the clock is their friend at this point, so they're going to want to go as deep into the shot clock as they can. Here's Schmidt off the screen from Hart, tees it up from 15. No good. So the Prairie Stars got the stop they needed. Now they need to score if they want to start climbing back into this game. Ooh, nice drive there from Sahara Murphy.
See, there's that press, and the Flyers, Shanton Brown was open, but Grace Hilber wisely took that out, take some time off that clock. A little under 4.5 to go.
Yeah, and Shanton Brown actually hasn't attempted a ton of three-pointers on the season. She's only 2 of 5. But as we see, Badali there does connect on the 3, and that was actually a huge basket for the Flyers. They lead by 13 now. Murphy attempted a 3 of her own, but that one's no good. So now the Prairie Stars back, and of course that was off the miss, so it wasn't so much the Flyers setting up an offense, but the Prairie Stars did slow things down a bit. And that's Catherine Schmidt right to the rim.
Yeah, we're in the crucial moments of the fourth quarter for where the Prairie Stars, they pretty much have to get a stop and score on the next how many possessions, because
and that one way off. So it's the Flyers lead by 15, and the momentum at this point, all Flyers. So they've played really well here in quarter number 4. As they're outscoring the Prairie Stars 13-7 in the fourth quarter. 1 of 3 from the three-point line. And now they have their largest lead of the game at 15. And Tony, we've been talking about it all night, but points in the paint, big factor so far in this game. Flyers with 36 points in the paint, the Prairie Stars with 12. So the height advantage that the Flyers have had, obviously playing an advantage, but not a ton of it, not all of it is even, post looks for the Flyers. A lot of it has just been, back cuts, driving to the rim, and
we've seen some beautiful passes too. I mean,
yeah.
Grace Hilber's had some nice passes, Badali, Stephanie Hart. And it's not just one player either. I mean, they look really good.
Yeah, they've been moving the ball around really well in offense, and then doing a great job here in transition of breaking the press and, often finding the open player.
And they've stayed disciplined too. They haven't looked sloppy. They're doing what they're supposed to do. And you can see what happens when you play good basketball.
Prairie Stars still keeping up with that press. This is Badali up court to Hart, and she's fouled. It's going to be Ella Mann picking up what is just her first foul of the afternoon. And if you're just joining us, make sure to stay tuned for the men's game, which will be following the women's game. The men, of course, will also be taking on the Prairie Stars. And Shanton Brown is fouled, so.
Well, wouldn't you think the Prairie Stars need to get Araya Douglas back out there? I mean, I know she hasn't had that much success today, but I mean, unless they just plan on maybe somebody else getting them points, but I mean, she's been your biggest player throughout the season.
Yeah, and obviously she's just had an off afternoon. That happens sometimes, especially on these road trips, but I have no doubt she'll be able to bounce back in the Prairie Stars' next game against Illinois Springfield, or excuse me, against Truman State. Brown goes 1 for 2 from the line, 16-point game. This is Bardick. Bardick is going to score there from 2, so she now has 15 in the game. Prairie Stars need a stop, and it's going to be a foul, so now Stephanie Hart is going to shoot 2.
Yeah, it looks like Elena Sokup's about to check in for her first time today.
Elena Sukup checks in for the Flyers. And for the Flyers, Stephanie Hart's at the line. 2 shots.
Yeah, and Sokup's played 39 total minutes on the season. So now she's getting some very valuable experience.
Yeah, with 3 of the starters for the Flyers on the bench currently.
Yeah, and Sokup, of course, a freshman. She's a 5'8" guard out of Lake Zurich, Illinois. So you always love when you can get your freshmen in there, especially, you know, playing with these fifth-year seniors like Lindsey Harrison and Stephanie Hart, just experienced players. So it's always good to get your freshmen in there, gain experience. That's going to be another foul against Springfield. It's a 15-point game. And a lot of players out there now with 3 and 4 fouls for Springfield.
Yeah, we've been at the free throw line quite a bit here in these last few minutes of this game.
Yeah, Ava Bardick, Sahara Murphy, and Olivia Stevens all with 4 fouls. And then Liz Yule has 3. And there's Douglas now checking in. 16-point game, 2:53 remains. Flyers lead 60-44 as Bardick unable to convert, but the Prairie Stars corral the offensive rebound and score. This is up to Sokup. Nice look down low to Harrison. She's fouled. And that's Liz Yule, so that's her 4th foul as well.
Yep. That was a nice pass there by Sokup.
And it looks like number 22, Ryan O'Garrick, 5'10" senior out of New Lenox, Illinois, will also be checking in for the Flyers. Harrison connects on free throw number 1. Free throw 2 up, no good. Zajac all the way to the basket, no good. Rebound chased down by Hart, cross court to Badali. Wide open down low is Taragaluza, but the Prairie Stars able to recover. Now Badali's going to slow things down at the top of the key. And that's a foul from Bardick. She's going to foul out. And with 2 minutes remaining, 15-point game, Tony, you almost wonder at some point if it's time to call off the troops and kind of let it play out, because the Flyers have now shot free throws the last 3 or 4 possessions down on this end of the court.
Yeah, it looks like the Flyers are getting ready to empty their bench to up 15 with just 2:12 to go. But just overall, though, I mean, it was just a job well done by the Flyers today.
Yeah, because this was a close game all throughout, but right here in the 4th quarter, the Flyers have done exactly what they need to do to close this one out as Kay Barth Lofton checks in for the Flyers.
And these moments are where we've seen the Flyers struggle the most, but they haven't shown really any sign of struggle here in this quarter.
Yeah, and we saw Lauren Ramsey also on the court for the Flyers. That's going to be a foul against her. So the Prairie Stars will shoot a couple of free throws. This is Douglas. Flyers now in the bonus along with the Prairie Stars. Up and no good. And again a foul, so Taragaluza will shoot 2. And I didn't mention this earlier, but Bardick did foul out on that last possession.
Yeah, and Zajac just picked up her 4th. Yeah, Prairie Stars don't want Zajac to foul out. They're going to be running out of players to put in.
Yeah, like we mentioned, came in short-handed, traveling with just 9. But, you know, I think the final score really is not going to represent the work that the Prairie Stars put in here, because this was really a very close game. It's just down the stretch, the Flyers have hit their free throws and have been able to create some separation.
Yeah, and they put up a fight today, but I mean, you tend to see that with a struggling team. A lot of times they can keep with you early, but once you start getting into later, you know, in the crucial moments of the game, that's kind of where you can see them fall off. But I mean, overall, it was a pretty good game up until these last few minutes.
Douglas converted on free throw 1. Free throw 2 is up and good. Prairie Stars shot very well from the stripe this afternoon, 12 of 18. This is Ramsey in the corner. Here's Sokup, and she's fouled.
It gets to the point where there's really not a need to foul anymore. When you have 1:40 left, I mean, your chances of coming back are very slim.
Yeah, and the Flyers now with all 5 of their starters on the bench, as Sokup up and no good. So yeah, you almost wonder how much longer the Prairie Stars are going to keep this up, and a lot of their players with 4 fouls as well. It's a fine line, Tony, and it's always hard to find, but fine line between, fighting all the way to the end and then,
right,
at some point just having to decide that it's, probably over. And that's another foul. That one's going to be on Douglas. And that's her 4th. And now Galuza is going to shoot 2.
Yeah, all 5 players out on the court for the Prairie Stars have 4 fouls. So, I mean, you're really getting to the point where you just can't foul them. But
yeah, and Bartek has already fouled out as well. Galuza converted on the first. Second's good, 17-point lead, so barring anything drastic, the Flyers are going to come away with their 10th conference win, and the Prairie Stars will fall to 2-12 in conference play. No good there.
And it'll be the
up to O'Garrick. She's going to go up, lay it in. As Ryan O'Garrick gets on the board
and
for the Flyers.
The 3rd straight win for the Flyers, too. So get a little win streak going down the end of the stretch.
Yeah, their last few games played very well. They will head to Missouri to play William Jewell College on Thursday, and then that Saturday they will take on Truman State. And then they'll be back at home February 16th and 18th to take on Southwest Baptist and Rockhurst.
February 25th against Drury, that's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, and the Flyers, over the past couple of years, Drury consistently ranked in the top 5 for Division II, but these last couple of years, the Flyers have played very well against Drury. Last year, they actually upset Drury here at home as well.
Yeah, and Drury's sitting at number 6 right now.
1 minute left in the game, 1 minute.
Minute remaining. This is Douglas. Now in the corner. Drive, puts it up, and a nice friendly roll there. Prairie Stars 52, Flyers 71. Prairie Stars still pressing here. Here's Barth Lofton. Up to O'Garrick, now Ramsey, up and good. Lauren Ramsey gets on the board. Up to Zajac, she tees up a 3, that one's no good. Now just 2-second difference between shot and game clock. And O'Garrick's still pressed.
Wow.
So the Prairie Stars come up with the steal, up and good. And that was Ivy Schmidt coming up with the steal in the basket. So shot clock turned off. Flyers can really just hold on to this till the end. And so our final is going to be Flyers 73, Prairie Stars 54 here from Neil Carey Arena. And the Flyers improve to 14-8 on the season. The Prairie Stars will fall to 2-20. You're going to want to stay tuned for the men's game coming up very soon. But until then, I'm Patrick Hennessy alongside Tony Donardis. We want to thank you for tuning in and watching Flyers women's basketball here from the Lewis University Television Network.